How's it going, good people? My name's Pedro, and today we're going to be taking a look at the first upgrade we have to this channel out here. And by upgrade, what do I mean? Basically, I've gone and picked up a DSLR camera for shooting all of these videos out here. So today we're going to be unboxing the camera and just basically getting a bit of a first impressions into effectively how it looks, how it sounds, how it feels, and so just getting a vibe overall from it there. Now, I know it's a little out of left field and camera unboxings aren't really the norm on this channel out here, but I'm really excited to get into it and open up this camera and really look at stepping up the video quality in 2021, both on a recording front, especially with things like editing and all that behind the scenes. But all in all, I'm really excited for 2021 and really excited to jump in and have a look at this camera. Now, before we jump into it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button on this video, it takes about 2 seconds of your time and really helps out the channel in the long run, all in all. So by now, I'm sure the video title's already given it away, but today we're going to be having a look at the Sony A6600. We're going to be opening up the box and be getting a bit of a first impressions on it, and I'll talk a little bit about essentially why I went and picked up a camera for this channel and just for day-to-day use in general. Basically, this is one of their high-end entry-level cameras, which basically allows me to shoot in 4K, have really good image stabilization, and all in all, being able to use all of the various lenses that cameras can take from the Sony E-mount line. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Alrighty, so now diving into the actual box of the A6600. At first, we can basically see the front of the box here has the camera outlined here, along with the actual A6600 logo out there. Moving on to the sides of the box, you can see on this side has a little bit about the feature set, and then along with the other actual accessories you can pick up for the camera as well, which is pretty cool. There's nothing too much to see on this side of the box all in all, but you do get to see about the E-mount lighting, which is basically the different lenses the camera can take. And then along with that, you see a bit on the front and the back out here. Just has a couple of the standards that it meets. Now, moving into the actual box itself. To start off with now, we basically see that there is a bunch of paperwork that comes with the camera in various languages that talk a lot about the setup and how to actually use the camera for a new starter or a first guide. We're basically just going to get that paperwork out of the way for today. Now, moving underneath that, we actually see what looks like a little strap for the camera out there. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the highest quality strap. It's not going to exactly feel good wearing that for a long period of time, but I mean, all in all, it's great that they actually included a strap with this camera out here. I mean, definitely wasn't necessary. It could have definitely not had it, but it's great that it's there. Moving on from that there, we now see the micro USB cable that comes in the box out here. So this is a USB-A to micro USB, not exactly the longest cable around, but still really good to have for actually setting up the camera. And I guess these days you can't really take it for granted having cables in the box itself. Now, moving on from that there, we see there is a little rubberized viewfinder to put over the camera itself, just to make it a little more comfortable when actually using the camera for an extended period of time. Along with that, what it looks like here, we have the little charging brick for the camera itself, so that way if you want to use it offline and be able to charge the camera up without a computer, you can do that. Next, jumping into this other package here, we basically see the battery for the camera itself, which is pretty cool. It has this little translucent effect on it, which is always great to have. It's good to note that the battery on these cameras out here are the same as the main Sony S3 line as well, so that way it's pretty much compatible with everything you see out there. Next, diving underneath all those accessories out here, you see all of the different plugs for the camera, along with the actual international plugs themselves, and then I guess down the bottom out here we can see the plug for Australia and New Zealand, which is always great to have. And then finally, it looks like we have the actual camera out here once we just slide that out. And that's basically everything we have in the box out there. Alrighty, so let's now have a bit of a tour around the device itself out here. So what we can see under this lens out here will probably be the sensor itself. On the top of the device, we have a little scrollable wheel in which we can essentially select what mode we want it in, whether that would be any of the shooting modes or the cinema mode itself. Then we have the on-off button and the actual clicker itself, along with the first two custom buttons on the top. Then down on the actual back of the device, we have a scrollable wheel, which is also clickable for the various options you have there. Along with that, you have your media buttons, along with the delete and the actual custom button for out there. And then on top of that, you have the custom button 3 and your menu button out there. Along with that, a really cool feature of the A6600 is the fact that you can actually flip the screen out and have it in like a selfie mode, which is actually really, really good when trying to set up a shot yourself and record or basically do anything on a camera by yourself. It is phenomenal and really, really great to have. Moving on from that there, we can see on the side of the camera out here, we actually have all of our I/O connections. So this is where we're able to connect out a microphone or a USB cable or even the mini HDMI if you want to use it with like an Elgato Stream Deck or anything like that as well. And yeah, essentially all of that is your interfaces on the side of the camera. Then moving on to the other side of the camera, we can see now on the bottom that there is a 1/4 20 mount along with the actual casing for the battery and your SD card as well. From that, we can finally see the side of the camera has nothing really, and then we can see the sort of groupability of the camera, which is actually really, really good. The A6600 feels very solid in the hand to hold without any real issues at all, and you can just pretty much comfortably grip it for as long as you need. One of the reasons I ended up picking up the A6600 was the phenomenal autofocus. Basically, I'm able to remain in focus in the shot, whether I'm right in front of the camera, off to the side, or even off to the other side as well. It is a great ability to have, and on my smartphone, that really wasn't possible. Any of the apps that I use would either let you lock down focus, that would make it really, really difficult to try and lock down a specific look from the camera itself. Along with that as well, the A6600 has inbuilt in-body stabilization, which I'm really looking forward to use for things like B-roll shots. Till date, a lot of my B-roll shots are very static in terms of the movement you see in them, but with the A6600, I'm hoping to be able to have a couple more smooth moving shots going forward, and I think the in-body stabilization should really help with that. Along with that as well, I mean, it just looks really, really nice, the quality of the camera and the actual shots that come off that. A little bit of testing I've done offline makes me really, really excited to see what I can actually shoot for you guys, what sort of B-roll I can get, and effectively what other videos I can help churn out with all of this gear. Now, I'm not going to say that picking up a DSLR is for everyone out there, obviously not. For most people, using your smartphone is plenty, and honestly, till date, I've shot numerous hours of video with my smartphone, and that's been fine there. Alright, so that essentially wraps it up for this video out here. I just wanted to take a quick second to just show off this camera, just because I've been really excited to have this come in, and I'm really looking forward to seeing effectively the quality of videos we can get out of this here. And I just want to take a quick second to say thank you to everyone who supported the channel in 2020. It's really crazy to see just the amount of growth that we've had from, in all honesty, a brand new channel. So I am really excited to see how we go moving forward into 2021. Obviously, I've got some plans up there, but we shall see those when they come to life. Until I talk to you guys next time, my name's Pedro, and I hope you all have a good one.